Hi Michael, how was the international break? A few players away. What did you do with the players who were here? How did that go, that spell?
Yeah, it's been a good period of time really. Training's been good. Similar to the last international break, I think it was really good training. The boys really worked really hard and really well actually when we've been in, and a few days off as well over the weekend. Kind of regrouping a little bit, some boys needed a bit more training than others, and some have played a little bit more, and just taking a bit of stock, balancing it off, ready for the next push.
Do you use that break, that opportunity, as a chance to change things in a bigger way than you would otherwise? Is it an opportunity to do that?
I think it's just carry on working really, there's always things that we want to try and improve on, without really, a massive focus or a massive change for any reason. I think last 3 games generally have been pretty good. We had 15 minutes there against Watford where we let the game slip away, but other than that, for the 3 games we've been really good and doing a lot of really productive things. So there's always a little eye on here and there that we need to kind of sharpen up a little bit on certain areas, but largely quite pleased the way we're playing, and keep picking up results. That's the idea.
A couple of the lads would have had long trips, Morris and McGree. Does that mean they're less likely to be involved against Bristol, or does it not matter? Modern travels.
I think there's a lot goes into over this period of time of how when they get back, how they get back. It's not solely on who's travelled the most really, and some lads have travelled more and played less and whatever. But so there's all sorts really comes into it. I think what's next over the next week, what we've had recently, the form, all sorts of different things. But hopefully by the time the game comes, everyone's back and safely and sound and looking forward. So we've got a good squad to pick from.
Recent record against Bristol City is quite poor. Is there a reason for that, do you think, and what is the challenge that they pose?
There's probably always a reason for it. I don't think every game's the same though, and you can't kind of cluster it together. I think it's just it's the way it's panned out. I think we've played particularly well actually for the couple of years down there, and not got the result we wanted, but we've played well. Last year we it was a 2-minute spell where we conceded 2 goals at home and made the game difficult for us. So there's different parts to that, I suppose. But listen, they're a good team. They're definitely well coached. They're a good team and got some really dangerous players. So yeah, of course it's another tough challenge. But in terms of historically and what it feels like for the last couple of years or so, I don't think really that comes into play come Saturday.
And just one on Thomas Tuchel getting the England job. Do you think that shows us a lack of English options, or do you think there are English coaches out there who could do the job, and if not, why not? What's going wrong?
I don't think anything's gone wrong particularly. I think whoever's got the job's got the job. It is what it is. It's not for me to kind of really say. I think as an Englishman, fully support the team and the manager, and hopefully he does really well. The FA have had a decision to make. They've made the decision, and good luck to them.
Thank you.
Michael, what you were hoping the injury situation would look a bit better after the international break, does it?
Slightly, yeah, I think it does. The fact that we haven't lost any more, so that's good, and hopefully that continues. And we've had as I said from before, Martin, he's been on the pitch. Marcus has been backing around it. Dale's back training with the group. Johnny's been backing around it again. So we're getting there really in terms of the depth and the quality that we've got to choose from, which is great, because I think as the season goes, the squad's vital, and the impact everyone will have, and certainly going through the dark nights and through the winter and the tough kind of slog and the grind as you get through it, which is fantastic. We love the challenge. Having the squad and the numbers to choose from is brilliant.
What about Tommy? Obviously it's a game I'm sure he's desperate to be involved in. How's he looking?
Yeah, we'll have to see on Tommy. I mean, he obviously didn't go away with Scotland, and he's missed a period of time. So we'll have to see. A couple of days left. If we can get him back around it and involved on Saturday, then great.
And just sort of generally had a little time to think about that, the international break. How do you feel? Where are things at? Are you happy with the way things are at the moment?
I think there's an awful lot of good things. Yeah, performance-wise, I think. A little bit here and there, and it'll sharpen up a little bit in certain areas. And when I say sharpen up, I just mean that little bit of extra edge, that little bit extra pulling out that extra little bit of level performance in certain moments, and I think we're really close. So we need to make that count.
Both clubs are going to show their respects to Theo John Manning on Saturday. I'm sure as a family man, you have all the sympathy in the world for the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I was devastated when I heard the news. It's awful, you know. It's something that's tough to come to terms with. Really, I know Liam. I was on we'd done the pro license on the same course together. So yeah, it's so sad, and certainly all our thoughts from me and my staff and everyone at the club is for Liam, is for Theo and his family. I think it's so sad, and football is football, but there's a lot more to life than football, and you know, so we certainly pay our respects on Saturday for Liam and his family, and we've been in touch with Bristol and we've arranged that, so that's the least we can do, obviously.
Thank you.
Just picking up on the injury front, I know you mentioned Dale and Johnny back in training, particularly with Dale. You said obviously there's a need for patience, but with that kind of extra 2-week break, is he now in contention to make the squad? Yeah,
we're fortunate we got good choice of centre halves as well, so there's no rush for him. Certainly, you know, he's not played since January, so we'll definitely take time, but he's training really well, so it's great to have him back.
Brilliant. I mean, you know, you have got good options. I guess it's a good place to be, but obviously a difficult one for you as well. I mean, you know, that's going to be kind of tough down the line making them choices, particularly at centre back, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's some decisions are harder than others for sure. But I think you know, as a group, it's important that we're strong and we progress through the season in that way, and the boys understand that, you know, and pushing each other to get more performance out of each other. It only helps the group, and certainly there's going to be times when someone plays, and then maybe a time when they don't play so much, and that's just how the season's going to take shape, really. And certainly for me to have the choice and to have the boys in good shape and playing well between them, to have the choice from is really in a good place.
Yeah, just last one on the injury from me. Hayden had to pull out the England under 21 squad. How's he doing?
Yeah, we're working him to get him back, really. I think he missed out for a reason. You know, he felt his hamstring just tighten up a little bit, but it's hopefully nothing major.
Yeah, has he been able to train kind of in the build up of this game, or is he still?
He's been in and around it a little bit, yeah. Been in and around it a little bit, so we'll see how he goes over the next couple of days.
Just as well on Neto Borges, obviously I think that kind of he made his debut just before the last international break, and I think he's had 6 games now, if I'm right. How do you feel he's settling in at the club and doing so far?
Yeah, Neto's doing really well. I think it's obviously a big change, but I think, you know, he's played very well actually, and adapted and physically handled the games fine, and improving all the time in terms of understanding of each other and those around him, and now I think I'm really pleased with him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that left back role, Ryan made it his own when you first arrived for that season, and then last season there was a bit more change. It feels quite a different role to what maybe Neto would ordinarily be used to. It's maybe different to the kind of average left back role, a bit more responsibility. So I guess, you know, a bit of time to adapt to that as well.
I think he's adapted fine. It's how he plays, so we're not asking him to do anything different. Honestly, I think he's doing fine.
You mentioned Tommy there. I mean, looking back to the summer, and it was, you know, there was an awful lot of clubs in for him, wasn't there? And I know we spoke about it when he first signed, but it felt at the time like a potentially very important signing, and presumably, you know, from what you've seen of him so far, that's very much still the case. He'll have a big part to play this season.
Yeah, he's a good player. Tommy is. He's trained really well, strong, clever, intelligent, understands the game, finishes really well. Yeah, he's settled in as quick as he could possibly settle in, really. And I know he's had the setback of his slight injury, but when we get him back and he's fighting fit again, he'll have a big impact for us.
And another one of your forwards who, on the face of it, looks to be pretty versatile. We've seen him as a 10. I'm sure he can play as a 9. I'm sure he could play wide if you needed him to. And you know, it does seem like you've got you have got a lot of different options there. You can almost kind of fit it in however you want, really.
Yeah, there's options. I've said it to you before. I think a lot of the front players can play in different positions in different roles across the front, play in the same system and offer slightly different things, which is great to have them choices really. And yeah, is that mine? Sorry, not my phone. Sorry about that. No. Sorry, that's awful, that from me. Apologies. Huh? Oh, I heard it ringing. So yeah, we've got great options across that front line, and of course it's going to be times when some are in form and others not so much, and I think that'll go through the season. Momentum will be important with that. So yeah, it's obviously up to us to make the right choices as well.
Yeah. You touched on Riley and Aidan. I mean, are they back yet, or are they not? Are they back today, or are they not back till tomorrow?
Yeah, they're back. Yeah, just got back. Yeah.
Because you know, we take it for granted that these players fly off around the world, and I know you say that, you know, and you're right, sometimes it's not necessarily about the distance, it's the number of games and stuff, but you know, for especially for Aidan, you know, who's played kind of all the way through really, we are seeing a lot of demands on these young lads, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I don't think it's much new. It's been going on for a long time really.
Yeah.
So but yeah, the demands are there. I'm not making light of it, but I don't think it's new. I think it's maybe new for certain players because they're younger and it's a new experience for them. But in terms of international week, if anything, we used to play on a Wednesday night and have to get back to play on a Saturday. Now it's the Tuesday is the latest. So it's yeah, it is what it is. You know, yeah.
Sol's contract, which was obviously announced this week, you know, there was a lot of talk in the summer about who would be staying as goalkeepers, who might not be, etc., etc. That feels like a real vote of faith in terms of Sol in the long term, that you see him as being a very, very important part of your goalkeeper mix for the foreseeable.
Yeah, listen, I think we're happy with the goalkeepers we've got, and very similar to the squad. And we're talking about the forwards, you know, and we've got really good options, and I think stability is important and moving forward, and having an eye on the future is important. And you know, we're obviously happy to commit to that for in certain situations, certain players, and then it's about performance after that, you know, and what happens. And but yeah, in terms of squad and the balance in the goalkeeping department, I think we've got really good choices and good depth, and yeah, I think that'll set us well for the future.
Brilliant.
Just hi Michael, sorry. Just going back to the international break, obviously Ben's gone away again with Scotland, another great experience, but he had a great experience the other night coming up against someone you'll know very well, Ronaldo. I don't know, do you have any message for him before that game, and have you spoken with him since?
I've seen him this morning. To be honest, I've not spoke to him about too much about it. I think he had not for nothing about Cristiano anyway. I think it's he went and done really well, and played off the left as well, which is something a little bit different and good experience from him, and he done well. So yeah, I think he really enjoyed it, and he's back and he's fresh and he's in a good place.
And he looked like he held no fear the other night, even though Scotland were, you know, without the ball a lot. When they were in it, he played really fearless. How great is it, you know, whether we only have him for a season, to see one of your lads up there against, and it's not only Ronaldo, it's such a star-studded team as well.
I mean, it's experience, and it's great experience in different ways, you know, and I think feeling that experience on the pitch next to top players, you know, and feeling what that's like in terms of the speed of thought, the speed of thinking, the speed of movement, and dealing with that. So I think it's easy to forget as well how young Ben still is really. He's coped with it ever so well, you know, and the steps he's made coming here and the steps with the national team. So there's a lot more to come from him as well, and keep pushing and keep developing.
And he looked like, just a final one for me, he looked like a full time he was trying to get his shirt, but Cristiano didn't seem very happy. Did he manage to get it or not, or don't you know?
Wouldn't have a clue. Don't know.
Fair enough.
Sorry, can I just ask you one more, just on the England stuff? I know what you say there. I mean, do you played under a foreign manager with England? I mean, presumably it made absolutely no difference to you and the rest of the lads you were playing with where on earth the manager was from, did it?
No, I played under two. Sven gave me my debut, and Fabio's after that in 2009, 2010. So, listen, from a player's point of view, I think you play for your country, and you know, you represent yourself, your family, the country itself, and you give what you can. So I think there's a respect for the coach or the manager or the staff or whatever it is. And then you kind of got your responsibility and your duty to go and try and perform and try and do well. So I don't think that really changes. And
just the last one on it, that there's been a lot of talk around it of, do English coaches get a chance? The very, very top sides haven't had a lot of English coaches recently. I mean, as someone who has played for a top side, is starting your coaching career, is working through, I mean, presumably you'll say you've got to earn that right, that if you want to be whatever further down the line, England manager, Man United manager, Man City manager, whatever, you've got to earn that right. It's all very well saying English managers don't get this chance, but there's an onus as well on English bosses to show that they're worth it, I suppose.
Of course, it's just like playing and being a player, being a coach, being a manager, whatever it is, it becomes from and what you're achieving really, and just like being a player, you need a chance, you need an opportunity to go and play on a stage. Just like I'm in a position where I can give younger players or players opportunity and give them the first game or give them that stepping stone. Course manager is a manager and a coach. That's part of the stages of it. What's right or wrong, it's there's not a duty really. It's to every club to pick and choose who they want, just as players or managers, and I suppose in the end you've got to be good enough. But it would be nice if there was more at the top level for sure, and over time hopefully that happens. But you've got to earn it, yeah, for sure.